So hopefully over my shoulder you can see the completed Oklahoma Joe Highland. So this video is basically going to be it's like a build vlog. The full build of the unit itself plus all of the mods that I've made, so I'll be calling those out in the text so you're aware of what was part of the original build and then what's just been added on top. So I went through, to be honest, I prepared quite a lot for this one. Went through all of the instructions because I was making the mods as I was going through the original build. I was making notes of what had to happen and when. So the gasket tape, the gasket seal, of course all the various different joints on the chimney, and then thinking about all of the when to do the drilling. I decided to do all of that at the end. I hummed and hawed about whether it's going to be easier once sort of like it's on the floor as a base unit or whether it's on the legs or whatever. I decided to do it all at the end. And yeah, just watched a few YouTube videos, made a few notes, went through everything, so I was pretty well prepared. Depending on this video length, we'll do it in 2 parts or maybe just one long one. I might split it up into 2, and then another video dropping later will be the burning process. Final call out as well is that for such a long build, like the whole thing, it was split over 2 days, probably in total, or in terms of actual hours, give or take over about 11 hours, probably about 7 hours in total, I reckon. If I had to make an estimation, didn't have my cameraman for that, so I've been trying to use this kind of setup. That does mean for a lot of it, you're gonna not have my head, maybe that's a good thing. I'll speed up some of it where you don't need to worry about it too much, but yeah, apologies, I can't take it all apart and do it all again. And when you've only got 30 odd subscribers, you're doing it for the true love rather than it needing to be perfectly edited and professional. Anyway, that's why I'm doing this intro now after the build. And I hope you enjoy the video and see you again soon for the burning. Cheers guys. Okay, first step, pretty straightforward. Axle, 12mm flat washer, wheel, another 12mm flat washer, and a hitch pin. Okay, first step done. Woohoo! It says you need another person, but I managed to do it on my own. I just rolled this onto it, just flipped it the other way around. So we've now got the leg posts stuck in the air. So we're going to attach the leg posts and screw them in. So first up, we've got the post with the wheels, which go on the firebox ends. The opening for the firebox is there, so we can get these into position. Cool, so I'll get those screwed in and then we'll get back to it. So we've now got these just put in the 4 screws. They are loose at the moment. I've not done them fully tight because we need to put the bottom tray on. So let's just cut this label off, which is telling you to do what? Use outdoors. Fair enough. So what we now want to do is basically just get this in position. This is why I haven't tightened the legs up fully yet, because you don't want to tighten the legs until we've got the bottom shelf on. So, got the 2 diagonals on, so I'm now going to do all 4 of those. I'll do those tight to bring the legs together, and then I'll just tighten up the bottom 4, and then that's basically the main frame done. Right, well now the wheels are on, it's a lot easier to move. Next step, basically just attaching the warming plate onto the firebox lid. Sorted. Right, so the next step is to actually screw the 2 halves of the firebox together. This is where I'm bringing in the first mod though, because at the moment these 2 halves, I mean this main unit, the end caps are welded on. I'm going to put tape over the lid, but it's essentially one circular piece of steel. What's going on with the firebox though is that it's 2 halves. There's obviously a lot of scope for heat escape around that joint. So the main what I'm going to do here is gasket tape where the two halves are going to meet. Okay, I've got the 4 screws and washers on, hex washers on. I'm just going to tighten them up with the socket set and the screwdriver, and it's the next step. So next thing I'm going to do actually is another mod on this, which is going to run the silicone sealant. I've never used it before, and I'm not the best at caulking either, so I'm going to start off by doing the inside, see if I can get the hang of it, and then probably run a bead around the outside as well. But I'm not going to film that because I've never done it before. I'll just show you what the finished product looks like. So you can see where I've just run it all along the join of the two halves of the firebox. It's a little bit scrappy, but to be honest with you, end of the day, not disastrous. And then inside the firebox as well, you can just see where I've run it around the seam on the inside. So the silicone and the gasket tape, hopefully when we burn that through, we should see pretty limited heat loss. So flipped it onto the chimney end, just run gasket tape along the entrance from the firebox into the main chamber. I flipped it just because I'm on my own, so it's going to be a little bit easier to screw it together. So we're going to lift that up, place it on here, screw it into place, run some silicone around it, and that'll be the firebox done. Okay, so I've finished the silicone seal on the firebox for the main chamber. To be honest with you, it's definitely helped having had a go on the earlier join, but you can see I've done the inside just where the two edges meet, and then I've done all around the outside as well. It was really fiddly when we started getting underneath here, but as you can see, it's certainly not disastrous, and for a first effort, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So it feels like pretty much broken the back of the build now. So yeah, just going to carry on. I think it's probably the trays and handles and whatever next, and then onto the chimney. Okay, we now have 2 functioning handles. Time to put the smokestack on. Sorted. Right, I've lost about 45 minutes. I've been trying to put on the thermometers. I've got the first one on fine. The second one, there's like a 160mm hex nut in here that I just could not shift at all. Eventually borrowed an adjustable wrench off the next door neighbour, passed over the fence, got it out. So now we just need to get the next thermometer in, and then we can start with the rest of the mods, namely the drilling. Perfect. Right, thermometers are on. So it basically would be done if it wasn't for the final 2 major mods, which is going to be drilling on the latches and drilling on the smokestack extender to the bottom of the grill grate.